Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the RaueCast, your podcast source for everything Raue Center and Raue centric. Talking today with a couple gentlemen from the Raue Center School for the Arts to go a little bit more in depth about what's been going on there the past couple of months, who the major players are, upcoming productions, and some of the classes they've got to offer. I want to thank you both for joining us, Rob Scharlow and James Mablin. Rob, you're the director of the Raue Center School for the Arts. Is that correct?
That is absolutely correct. Yes.
Excellent. So tell us a little bit about what's been going on the past couple months, because you're a relatively new face around Raue Center. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah. I started September 1st was when I started. So, we're about 6 months in.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, no, things have been going great. I know for our inaugural RaueCast, we talked a little bit about our Christmas show that we had done, which was a huge success in December. But officially in January of this year, we relaunched our 6 weeks of classes, and we are currently in the fourth week of our student classes with kids ranging from ages 7 to 16. And those are running great. Obviously, we had to battle the weather elements a little bit.
Sure.
But the sun is out today. That's the important thing. And the snow is melting. So,
and what better day to stay inside and do a podcast than, right?
All right, we're going to move this outside. Let me just take my laptop. We'll go enjoy the nice air.
I've noticed that we've got a number of classes going on. A lot of new faces. Yep. I think one of your major jobs thus far as the director, you've been sort of reconstituting the staff of the Raue Center School for the Arts, and we've got a lot of new people offering some pretty interesting classes. Can you tell us a little bit about what we're offering right now to the kids?
Sure. Yeah. No, we have 3 classes running currently. We have 2 sections of a class called Acting Through Movement, which is being taught by Tasha Guevara. And then we have a Fundamentals of Performance class, which is actually a 3-track class structure. And when I say track, we actually explain this to the students as well, is that we're talking 3 elements of performance. So one day is acting, then the following day is vocal, and then we finish off the week with a dance portion, and where all of our students get the foundations of what performing is. James down here, James Mablin, since we have 2 James in our podcast here, is handling our vocal section, and then we have Molly Perry, who handles our dance section, and then we have Christina Georgie, who handles our acting section. So our 2 Acting Through Movement classes, we have 2 age levels that we run throughout the week. And then our Fundamentals is our largest class, which is ages 7. And I think our oldest, if I'm not mistaken, is 12 or 13. So, but yeah, like I said, we are entering week 4 of the 6 weeks that are going on with those classes. So.
Okay, wonderful. Well, you introduced him a little bit there, Rob, but I want to pop it over here to James Mablin, who's even a fresher face around here than our director, Rob Scharlow. James, tell us a little bit about yourself, about the class you're teaching, where you're coming from, and how it's going so far.
Sure. Well, as you can probably tell, I'm not originally from Chicago.
It's a West Texas accent. Is that Lubbock, Texas?
I'm hearing. That's it. No, I'm now a Chicagoan, whatever I am. I have been for 3.5 weeks. I moved to town 3.5 weeks ago. So I am brand new to this very, very exciting venture. I'm originally, as you probably can tell, from London. I moved to the States about 17 years ago. I have been a professional working music director for all of my career. Sometimes educator. It depends. It's in between stuff. A lot of times I go. I've taught at Auburn University for 5 years. So I've taken time out to I love teaching as well. And yes, I ended up here because this gives me the best of both worlds. Basically, I get the chance to teach and work with the education department, work with Rob, and Rob and I have actually known each other for many, many years. We worked together in New York for many years, so that made it a no-brainer for me as well. So
Where
I
was
get to
that?
work with Rob.
I'm sorry, James. Where was that you and Rob worked together before? Where did you guys meet?
We worked together at a performing arts training center in upstate New York called Stage Door Manor, where we'd both been for a number of years. And yeah, became very good friends there. And so worked there. And now I'm here, and as I said, I get the chance to work with Rob and to work in the education department, and to work professionally on all the professional musicals that happen at the Raue as well, which is where I'm most comfortable. So yeah, I'm thrilled to be here, and yeah, it's really been jumping in at the deep end. I got here, and 3 days later, I was teaching a class. So
in the midst of a giant snowstorm, too, right?
Yes.
Right around that time.
Like the day after I arrived.
Welcome to Chicago, James.
Thank you.
So Rob mentioned you're teaching a vocal class, so the vocal portion of that, the fundamentals class. And then you're also music director. I know we've got some of the kids' shows that are coming up. Are you involved in those as well as some of the professional William Street rep shows that are coming on during the year?
Yes, I am, and that's kind of the exciting thing for the school as well, is that the professional music director from the Raue will also be musically directing the majority of shows for the education department as well. So yes, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, I'll be the music director for. Mean Girls, which is happening in the summer, I'll be the music director for. Moana Junior, I will not be, because it runs at a similar time to Mean Girls. But Rob and myself are working together to make sure that we get someone great in to actually do the music directing work on that show.
Wow. So that's a full slate. So let me see if I remember that right. We've got Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Mean Girls, and Moana Junior. That seems like a pretty full slate. Rob, do you want to speak to that a little bit? What's coming up here for the kids?
Yeah, so Jimmy forgot to mention, though, right after he finishes Mean Girls, he goes into WS Rep Show, music directing, bandstand.
Thank you. Yes, I have a humor. One of the biggest shows I've ever done does happen in September.
Excellent. Well, you jumped right in. We're putting you right to work, it sounds like then.
I love it. It's great, but yes.
Yeah, so we are thrilled. Like I said, we did the Christmas production, which was a 60-minute devised piece.
It was wonderful, by the way, Rob. You really knocked that out. You and Nick, the director for that, did a fantastic job with that Christmas show.
It was a great start to get the kids involved and to really create their own work. So, but now we're kind of turning the tables and we're jumping into a full-blown production with Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Will be our first official full production with RCSA, with me in this role. So, and I think, and again, I don't want to be quoted on this, but I want to follow up with the licensing company. I believe we might be one of the first to be doing this show outside of the professional production that was done, because the rights were just released for the show. So,
terrific. Rob, have we already had auditions for a diary yet, or is that upcoming? Or
that is upcoming. So enrollment is currently open for it.
Okay.
Every student that enrolls is automatically in the show. However, they still will go through an audition process because obviously we need to know who to cast them as. So yes, enrollment is currently open. We go into the actual auditions at the end of February. So, which, just to clarify, I just want to look at the calendar, just make sure I get the right dates. So yes, February 26th and 27th will be the auditions. And then the 29th is callbacks. But like I said, enrollment is open. So anybody that registers for it, they are in. So.
And let me just see if I got so the enrollment is open now. Is there anything that happens before the auditions for kids who are enrolled? Are there any classes or anything, or they have up to the audition date to enroll? How does that work?
So the week before we go into auditions, they have to enroll in the class.
Okay.
Um, the classes, we're not actually doing any specific classes for diary,
Okay.
but it's actually kind of a perk that I just want to mention is that, if you were enrolled in an RCSA class, for example, the students we currently have, anyone that's that age bracket for either Moana Junior or diary gets priority into the show first before it even went on sale to the public. So it's kind of a perk for them to be part of the RCSA family. So
Absolutely. I guess that makes a lot of sense. Also, from a purely professional angle, is that those are the kids that you know the best because they're in the class, and that makes you more comfortable casting them in those roles as they
yes,
audition as well,
yeah,
right?
because we currently have several that are in the class that are also now enrolled in diary. So it's been great because they're excited about it. We've been talking about it. They've been asking questions, which is another nice thing because like you said, James, it's we get to know them on a personal level and
Mhm.
we get to see what their abilities are. So
So you got Diary, and then Mean Girls is coming hot on the heels. Or when is Mean Girls? Is that a summer production or late spring, or when is that happening?
that is considered our summer camp show.
Okay.
So both Mean Girls and Moana Junior will be considered like summer camp programming. So
Okay. Excellent. And are those shows both sort of available to the same age range there?
so Moana Junior is going to be ages 7 to 13,
Okay.
and then Mean Girls is going to be 13 to 18.
That makes sense that Mean Girls is a little bit of an older age demographic, I think.
Yep.
See, you say that, but I just saw another a group, further south is doing Mean Girls Junior. I didn't even know there was a junior version of that. So,
Yeah, that does seem like a funny choice for a junior version of a show, but
yeah,
what do I know about being a kid these days?
yeah, it was kind of boggled my mind.
But
And just something I want to mention, just and you may want to jump into it, James, about this is that Jamie. I'm just going to refer to him as Jamie because I know him as Jamie, professionally, James. But he actually worked on the development of Mean Girls High School Edition, so that's kind of a positive thing for us. So.
oh, that's amazing. Yeah, please, James, spill the tea. How was that?
It was great. It was a really interesting time because it was just coming back from COVID when we did it. And we had the producers of the Broadway production and some of the original cast come in to see the show. And they were just so thrilled. It was the first production that had gone back out there of Mean Girls in, I think, almost 2 years because of COVID. And so they were just so thrilled that it was back. And yeah, it was an experience. I've done a few of these before for the publishing houses, turning productions into high school editions and things. And it was an interesting one with Mean Girls. It was a good show. It turned out to be a really good show, and it turned out to be a perfect show for high schoolers because it's rare you actually get a show where kids that age get to play their own age.
Yeah.
So from that point of view, it's nice. Great. Granted, we're hoping they're playing less nice versions of themselves, and they're not actually really like that. But yeah, it was a good show, and I'm now that it is out there, I'm very excited to do it again.
Oh, that's fantastic. We're incredibly lucky to have you on board then to sort of put your hand on the tiller for that one. That's wonderful, James. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
No, it's great.
so obviously the Rouse Center School for the Arts, we have a lot of offerings for the kids, but Rob, I understand we have some adult classes that are either going on right now or coming up soon, or some other maybe a couple of different offerings for adults. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, of course. So yeah, RCSA for adults. Nice, simple title. Not too complex, but yeah, we actually have some offerings. We have offering currently, which actually, as much as I would like to say it's being offered, it is sold out.
Oh, wow.
We just sold it out yesterday. It is John DeCoste is going to be teaching an adult stand-up comedy class. Um,
Oh,
and we have filled it, so we are very excited about that. That actually begins in 2 weeks, if I'm thinking correctly calendar-wise. That's a little bit shorter run than our students, our younger student classes, where our student classes run 6 weeks. John's class will run 4 weeks, and the fifth week, they actually get to perform at Lucy's Comedy Club as the opening act.
Oh,
So,
no kidding. Wow, what an
yeah,
incredible way to cap off the experience.
yeah, yeah. It's there. John is going to work with them to develop like a two. He said no more than 2 to 3 minute, kind of like little introduction to. That's going to be their graduation. So nothing like being in the spotlight for graduation.
Yeah, yeah, right, right. Well, listen, stand-up comedy is one of those things that scares me to absolute death. So, I mean, 2
Yep.
to 3 minutes sounds like a short amount of time, but when you're up there just trying to be funny, that can be an eternity.
Yes.
That's great. And then do we have any other sort of plans for adult classes that are coming up in the next few months, or have we been talking about
We
anything else?
do. Yeah, we are in the process of finalizing what we're going to do in the spring. We have a chunk of 4 weeks set aside because, like I said, with our adult classes, we all know we're all adults. We may not act like adults, but we are adults. The We know that your schedules are busy, so we want to be able to work around that. So we're doing these 4 week classes in the evening, and right now we are planning on doing an adult improv class that I'm working out details with a potential teacher for.
Okay.
And James is also going to be teaching an adult musical theater singing class where the adults can come out, show off their singing chops, do some contemporary musicals, sing some songs, and we're also looking at a potential adult playwriting class. So that will actually be happening, I believe, right when we are going into tech for diary. That's going to be running. We're going to be dealing with that with the students, and then not too long after that, we jump into about 4 weeks of adult classes. So,
Wow.
I can also jump on that as well to
yeah.
say that, I mean, Rob and I will talk, obviously, in great detail coming up to it about exactly what that musical theatre class will be. But on first thoughts, it's probably likely to be there will be obviously a singing element to it, but we're going to try and it'll be an all-encompassing thing that just it's basically about the love of musical theatre, and obviously be tailored to the level that the students are coming in, how confident they are, whether they've done shows before or not, or however. But it looks like it's something that I'm very much looking forward to.
It sounds incredible. Let me ask you guys though, do you ever get a break?
Nah.
Because it sounds like you're jumping from one thing to another, from show to class, to production, to all sorts of different things. It sounds like we're working you guys to the bone. Is there is there anything in particular? We're going to wrap this up in just a little bit, but in the next few months that you want to give a particular spotlight to, or anything you're looking forward to as a teacher or as an artist, that's coming up here in the next few months? Anything you want to shine a light on?
James, do you want to talk? Since I've been talking a lot, what you got?
Yeah, I think we've talked about most of it. No, I obviously am very much looking forward to getting into, as we've talked a lot about, obviously the classes and that kind of things. When I do get into bandstand in like August time, I think it is. I am very much looking forward to that show, and we're already working on it. So we've already started auditions for that. In a month, I think. We're
Okay.
about to put out an ad for the musicians for the pit. So behind the scenes, even though a lot of you who won't see anything like actually out there for a few months yet, behind the scenes things are already full go on that show. And I know from even though I'm new to it, I know how excited everyone that's been here for a while is to get a musical back on the Rouse stage again. So it's
Yeah.
exciting times all around.
Our William Street Rep theater company has just started up again since being
That's
shuttered
right.
during COVID. So we've got a couple of productions coming up here, and I know everyone is really looking forward to Bandstand. So best of luck with that for sure.
Thank you.
Rob, is there anything that coming up here that you want to give a special shout out to?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's like you said, there's no downtime. That's the exciting thing about theater and what we do is when I look at the schedule, I'm like, there really is no time. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I'm very excited about jumping in with Diary of a Wimpy Kid. It's such a fun show, and the opportunity to come out and put a brand new show that just like you said, hot off the presses is a great thing. And we've got a lot of fun stuff planned. Some things that I didn't even mention. We've got a family night that we're going to be doing for RCSA where
Oh,
we're going to play
wonderful.
Singo and maybe some Jackbox games where we're going to invite family. It's a family friendly night.
Terrific.
There's going to be some prizes. We just actually talked today. We want to offer an adult swing class this summer
Oh,
for 4
wow.
weeks. Yep, that ties into Bandstand.
It'll be the
You know, the,
choreographer from Bandstand, right? We'll
mhm,
actually be doing that class. So
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So we talked
wonderful.
about it this morning at one of our staff meetings, and yeah, 4 weeks of that. So there's a lot of things that I'm really excited about. But the one thing I can say, and I'll always keep saying this, is come out and take a chance. Our classes and our shows are designed like James was mentioning. I got to stop doing that. I'm so used to calling him Jamie.
you
Um,
can call me Jamie. It's fine.
okay, perfect. So it's what he said is we tailor it towards your abilities and your
Mhm.
experiences. um, and so we want people to know that come out, have some fun. We're giving a pre-professional experience. That's our goal, is to prep you for the future and to keep working with RCSA and maybe eventually transition to working with WS Rep in a professional capacity. So, you know, and the one thing I can share is that we offer scholarships, we offer financial aid. So we're here, and like I said, I could go on and on about all the things I'm excited for, but I'm telling you, get out there, enroll, get into Diary, get into our summer shows. There's going to be a lot of great things happening. So, and what a great way to meet people. So.
Get out there and take a chance. I love it, Rob. I think that's an excellent note to end this on. I want to thank you, Rob Scharlow and James Mablin, for your time. Obviously, you guys are busy, busy, busy. So cramming this into the schedule, I want you to know that we really appreciate it. And thanks to all of you out there who tuned in for our RaueCast this time. Pay attention to our calendar for all the exciting things that are coming up from both the Rouse Center School for the Arts and from William Street Rep. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff happening, and hopefully, we'll be reaching out to you again with another RaueCast very soon to tell you all about it. Thanks so much.